Good morning, YouTube. It's Dennis again with another JavaScript kata. Today, my goal is to write an event constructor function which can be used to make event objects. An event object should work like this. It has a subscribe method which takes a function and stores it as its handler. It has an unsubscribe method which takes a function and removes it from its handlers. It has an emit method which takes an arbitrary number of arguments and calls all of the stored functions within these arguments. As this is an elementary example of events, there are some simplifications. All functions are called with the correct arguments. For example, only functions will be passed to unsubscribe. You should not have to worry about the order of the handler's execution. The handlers will not attempt to modify an event object like the add or remove handlers. The context of handler's execution is not important, and each handler will be subscribed at most once at any given moment of time. It can still be unsubscribed and then subscribed again. Each handler will be subscribed at most. Okay. From what I'm gathering here, it looks like I'm going to be storing an array of functions in here, which I'll be storing as event handler, and they'll be called when emit is called. Okay, let's give it a go here. Our event object, function event, module.exports equals new event. You can export that for node testing here. Alright, it says we'll have three methods to go with it. Okay. First is our set event. First we have our subscribe method. And it just takes a function. Oops, I think an ES6 here. We'll have an unsubscribe method which also takes a function. Unsubscribe function func. And then we have our emit method. Now, first I'm going to see something here. Node const be equals require basic events. BE. Yeah, okay. That's all I needed to know for now. One other thing. Node. Let's declare ourselves a rudimentary function here. Okay, y index of x. Okay. Just wanted to see the index of array function works on functions. It does. Store our subscribed functions in an array. Array of subscribed functions. Dot functions equals. What about overloaded functions? Function x, y, z. Y dot push. Let's give a more concise example of that, actually. Function x console.log function 1 y function x, y, and z console.log function 2 Okay, it looks like it overrides the previous function here. Okay, that's all I needed to know. Okay, let's work on our subscribe method. We'll simply push this function into our functions method. We'll do some validation first. If func this dot functions dot put, or is it functions dot this dot functions dot push func. Bring back our node console here. What is the type of our function here? If func and type of func is equal to function, make sure the object passed in, or rather the argument passed in, is a function. Alright, now our unsubscribe method takes a function and removes that function from our functions array. So we'll do the same thing as our subscribe function. Make sure the argument passed in is a function. If func and type of func equals function. Need to check to see if our function here is in the array. Always good programming practice to do that. If this dot functions dot index or rather, maybe I'd be calling that twice if I did it that way. So I'm going to store this in a constant. Const function index equals this dot functions dot index of func. We'll check to see if. And we check to see if something is in an array with the index of function by checking to see if it doesn't return -1. So, if function index is not equal to -1, then we'll go ahead and splice that function out of our array. This dot functions dot splice. Pass in function index and 1 for the delete count. I want to check something here. function A, function B, function C. Let D equals A, B, and C. Function store in the array. Let E equals D dot index of B, D dot splice E1. Yeah, that works too. And now we have our emit method. You can pass multiple arguments. We should be able to pass multiple arguments into this one. I think there's actually a test inside the kata here that demonstrates this. Yeah, it's the array.prototype.slice.call passes in the arguments object. Let me try something here. Function f console.log array.console.log array.prototype.slice.call pass in our arguments object. And I'll do another console.log here to see, confirm that that's actually an array. Well, or rather, whoops, did that wrong. If console.log array.prototype.slice.call arguments. If Dennis Griffin, got an array here. Function G console.log array.is array.prototype.slice.call arguments. G Dennis Griffin. Yeah, that'll work nicely. So in our emit function, we can convert our arguments into an array. So let's do that here. Convert the arguments passed in here into an array. Args array equals array.prototype.slice.call, and we'll pass in our arguments. Alright, now there's just a matter of spreading those arguments out into the functions that we call in this method. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so the function object actually has a method called apply, in which I can call a function with an array of arguments as its arguments. So let's go ahead and try that. So go ahead and run a for loop with our functions here. Iterate over our functions. This dot functions dot for each function no. It would be appropriate to use the ES6 syntax here. Remove the need for this. Call the apply method on our function to call that function, passing our array of arguments in, or rather passing in each argument in our array. And we do this by doing func.apply and pass in null for the this arg, null for the this arg, and then the arg array, just passing args array. That's pretty good. Let's test it. So this node instance, clear our console, node, const be equals require basic events. Let's create a couple functions here. A console.log add a b, some math functions here, return a plus b, function subtract a b, return a plus b, rather a minus b, function multiply a b, return a times b. Alright, let's subscribe these functions in our event handler. be.emit. Okay. I'm logging these onto the console. Subtract. Yeah, okay. Yeah. 5 times 3. 5 and 3. Yeah, this seems to work. Let's go ahead and submit this. Just to be sure, let's create another function here. b.test equals array.prototype.slice.call arguments. subscribe me. B.test. Yeah, that works too. Alright. Looks like our code passes all the tests. I think we can go ahead and submit this. Alright, looks like that'll do for me this morning. Comment, like, subscribe. Oh, one more thing. I always post my Codewars solution here on GitHub. I'll post a link in the description. You can have a look at my code and review it if you would like. Alright, that'll do for me this morning. This is Dennis with another JavaScript Kata. You have a nice day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.